Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is Chris, and this is Barn on 11970. Thank you so much for taking the time to check out one of my videos. And we're going to talk a little bit more about this Hillary Clinton and supposedly having pneumonia. Now, I made a video earlier saying that, in my opinion, based on my own experience of almost dying from walking pneumonia and pneumonia 5 times in my life, and have had breathing problems that are bronchitis related and pneumonia related since I was an infant. I will soon be 46 years old. I hate to say it, but I'm almost as close to an expert you can get on having pneumonia because I've had it so many times and I've had so many breathing, problems. I know the symptoms. And I'm going to share with you a doctor that is in full agreement with me. And I'm going to show a little bit more clips. So, of course, with fair use, I can only show a little bit, but there will be a link in the description that's already there. So if you want to be able to check out the entire video, you can. But, of course, like fair use, I can only show a little bit. So I'm going to do a screen capture. I first want you to hear what he has to say, and then we're going to go over something that I noticed. So let's put this on now.
Me again. The big story right now. Yeah, it's great to have you back. The big story right now is, of course, the doctors have come out and said, well, no, it's not Parkinson's. It's none of the sort. It's pneumonia. What's your initial reaction to their claims?
It doesn't really fit what we see very well. My thought is that our premise that it's really related to Parkinson's disease fits what we see better than their story.
Now, when you had spoken with
now I'm going to stop it right there. Now I want you to see right here at 107
that it's really
in this video.
Parkinson's disease fits
now
what we
watch
see
as she's
better than
walking.
Their story.
Do you see her gasping for air? If you have pneumonia, you are going to be gasping for air. You are not going to be walking that calmly.
Better than
and
their
look
story.
How calm she is.
Now, when you had spoken with me earlier today,
that is not the typical response from somebody that supposedly has not walking pneumonia, not bronchitis, but full-on pneumonia. Do you understand that that's a viral infection most of the time, and your lungs fill with fluid? Do you ever swim in a pool and swallow a bunch of water and your lungs hurt? Well, just imagine doing that and then somebody trying to choke you out. You would be in panic mode. You would be coughing. You would be breathing out of your mouth. Notice how her mouth is not even open as she just walks
fits what we see
calmly, but needs to be held.
Now,
she needs stabilization, and at the end of it, you see that when they let her go, she collapses. But beforehand, she's getting very dizzy. That is not how you would react to a problem when it comes to walking pneumonia or full-fledged pneumonia. Now, people will say things like, well, what about her coughing? Well, there's a thing, if you've ever had walking pneumonia or bronchitis, there's a thing called a productive cough. And that means when you're coughing, because you have all this fluid in your lungs, it'll sound like a gargly kind of sound, because you're actually coughing up phlegm. Well, if you notice, her coughs are completely dry when she coughs. That suggests, and again, I'm no doctor, but I can only base it on approximately 45 years of having breathing problems, to the point where even to this day, I still carry inhalers around with me just in case. That the dry cough means that you don't have fluid in your lungs and you're not coughing anything up. And here's another thing they're trying to tell you. They tell you about the fact that, she supposedly was dehydrated. She supposedly has basically an asthma attack or has the bronchitis to the point where she needs to be taken away. And they say, oh, she's cured with antibiotics. Well, ladies and gentlemen, when you are given antibiotics, and I've had my fair share of them over the decades I've been on this planet, they do not heal you instantly. It takes days, sometimes weeks, of taking multiple antibiotics. And sometimes they get to the point where they have to give you steroids, because the steroids actually increase your heart rate, because when your heart rate is increased, you need more oxygen, so it expands your lungs and opens them up. So there would be no way, if she had full-fledged pneumonia, as they are claiming, that only a few hours later she can come out and be perfectly fine and show everybody how wonderful she is. So I'm calling BS on this one. And obviously, they don't want you to know that she most likely may have Parkinson's. And I say most likely may. I'm not a doctor. I can't tell. But from my experience of decades of having breathing problems, the way she acted very calmly, almost like she just had some kind of brain problem, in my opinion. There was nothing in her movements that suggested she was having problems breathing. And it's just sad that they're actually trying to mislead people, and
that
millions
our
of people
premise
watching
that
are going
it's
to buy
really
it.
related to
And
Parkinson's
again,
disease
watch this
fits what we
image.
see
Look
better
how
than
calm
their
she
story.
is. She's not
Now,
fighting for
when you
air.
had
She's
spoken with
speaking
me
right
earlier
there.
today, and we can see Hillary in the footage on screen
If you
now,
had
she had
bronchitis, you are wheezing. You get that paranoid claustrophobic feeling because you literally could die from it. I remember one time years ago that I was working at a restaurant when I was doing my karaoke DJ at this one restaurant. I won't mention their name. And it was really hot in the restaurant, but it was winter time. So when I left to go outside, my lungs automatically shut down. And I forgot to bring my inhaler. And I had to drive home, wheezing to the point where it literally, I thought I was going to die at any moment. You become full of, like a flat-on panic. And you could see here, she is nothing but straight up calm. Just walking to her van
Fits what we see
like
better
it's
than
no
their
big
story.
deal.
Now, when you had
That,
spoken with me
in my
earlier today, and
opinion,
we can see
is
Hillary in
not
the footage on screen
pneumonia.
now.
And I'm so tired of us being lied to. And I'm one of the first people to call this BS. The video that I'm showing, where I'm showing the actual clip, only just came out about an hour ago. So, I'm no doctor. So I can't say for sure 100% it's BS. But if it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. So if you guys want to keep getting fooled, because obviously here's the thing. Years ago, they planned on Hillary becoming president. I said over a year ago they were going to pick her before she was even in the less than the group of 17 or whatever amount of people that were trying to supposedly be elected president. They probably did not anticipate this health problem coming out the way that it has. But it's pretty much too late to replace her at this point, so they are literally, like I said in the other video, dragging her to the finish line. They literally have to hold her up. There is no way that they are going to have any debates. They're going to use this. And if people want to believe that's bronchitis, that's absolutely fine. You have that right. I'm sharing my experience. You just heard it from a doctor himself. This is ridiculous at this point, the lies that they are spewing. And what is more ridiculous is not the lies that they spew, it's the fact that there will be plenty of people who will believe it. And it's kind of sad. And options are good at saying, I'm no doctor, but it looks to me like symptoms of Parkinson's disease. And one of the things the doctor says, and again, the link is in the description so you can watch the entire video, the doctor says the reason that she's wearing glasses, she's wearing a special type of blue glasses. And if you Google blue glasses, people with Parkinson's disease actually wear those because it helps with their equilibrium. And you notice right before she's getting in the van that she just cannot stand on her own. That is not due to bronchitis. And I'm sorry, I wish in my lifetime I could have taken one antibiotic pill and then all of a sudden be breathing better. It would take days, if not up to a week, before they would actually help with even walking pneumonia, which is not as bad as full-blown pneumonia. Even with bronchitis, it's an infection of the lungs. She is walking around way too calm for her to be gasping for air. So that's just my opinion of a person that has the experience. You can believe it or not, or you can keep believing in the mainstream media who are just basically trying to BS you to get you to continually fall for the same thing over and over again. I've been trying to help people for over a year now about this, trying to warn people about this. And is it just a coincidence that all the things that I'm talking about are coming true? You wait and see. The debates will be canceled. And now they have the perfect excuse. And then what happens if she supposedly drops out at the last minute? Then what? Might be interesting. So I'm just going to enjoy this from a purely spectacle point of view. I'm an observer at this point. I'm ready for all situations. I'm just sitting back and watching all of the 90% of the media and 90% of the people out there just looking at this stuff, believing every word, and hanging on it like it's supposedly the truth. So watch that video in its entirety. Go subscribe to that other channel if you want to. If you haven't subscribed to mine, I hope you do, because I may not get everything right, but I definitely don't read from cue cards. I am definitely one of those people that's going to try and speak the truth the best as possible. There is no agenda here other than trying to awaken people from all these lies and believing in this garbage. It's my opinion. I could be wrong, and if I am, I'll be more than happy to say so. But until that time, I'm going to keep speaking the truth. And if you appreciate it, share it, give it a thumbs up, and do all those wonderful things. So this is Chris. This is Barn on 11970. It's about 3:45 in the morning, so I'm hitting the hay. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to have your trolls spayed or neutered. Pneumonia my ass.